Walk sign is on. Walk sign is on. Walk sign 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8,
Up next, we have Brett from the South Carolina Progressive Network.
I am the first from his, my own liberation. I am my first front in my own liberation. We have to be the people with the values we're expecting our society to have. We have been deluded, lied to for hundreds of years, especially in this state. I've been the director of South Carolina Progressive Network for 29 years. It was started in 1996 by an organization I was the director of that started in the 70s, working with the Justice Center. There's a deep, radical history in this state we're not taught. We teach that at the Justice School. If you don't know who made the rules you're playing under, you're not going to win your game. We started over 50 years ago as a radical organization with the understanding that we don't want to modify or ameliorate the pain that this nation, the greatest purveyor of violence in the world, as Dr. King said, we don't want to make it less violent. We want to have a radical revolution of values that Dr. King called for a year to the day before he was murdered. Thank you, good Lord. My sound man, that's better. But what is so important, the difference between a mob and an army is strategy and understanding. We have no civic education in this state. There's two things that you would learn to start with at the Majeska Simpkins School for Human Rights, which starts its 10th year in the Grow Building on the corner of Elmwood and Marion, right next to Simpkins' house, where W.E.B. Du Bois and Paul Robeson and all kinds of great people and communists and lefties met with her for the 60 years she lived there and did world-class organizing in this town and in this nation. So anyway, the first thing she learned, amongst the first things, is that George Washington warns against parties. There are no parties in the Constitution. They made them up. The specifics about avaricious, unprincipled people taking control of the government, those are George Washington's words. Thomas Jefferson warned against corporations, and I remember this one. God forbid we not strangle the moneyed corporations in their infancy. They yet in defiance against our elected government and our laws. What does that remind you of? This is your government. You can't fix your government with the tools your government gave you to fix it. We can't vote our way out of these problems. We have to organize our way out of these problems. It is not a campaign. It is not part of the Democratic Party. It's inside and outside. We've got, and all of that's doing a better job than they are. They've got the guns and money, so we have to be more clever than they are. We have to be more trusting than they are. And we have to have those values in ourselves that we're fighting for. And we build a community of those shared values. And it is not a campaign. It's not an event. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime. It's what I'm on the planet for, and I'm going to win my revolution, folks. So the Majestic School is 16 Mondays long. It's a really deep dive into the things that you didn't know that they lied to you about because they didn't tell you. Citizenship is something that should be an interactive thing. So I would encourage you, at least go online to the Essay Progression Network, just Google Essay Progression Network, click the Majestic School link at the top, read the details. We have a sliding scale for tuition. It slides all the way down to believing that you really want to do this and you have no money. It's changing people's lives about the way they see themselves and their power and understanding who made the rules. One of the things that we've been saying for an awfully long time is we can't fix it with the tools that keep it broken. Now, Heather Bauer, all praise to her, she's doing a great job in that building. I spent way too many years in that building, and I can guarantee you we're not going to fix it in that building. And that right now, South Carolina is in its 23rd year of a Republican trifecta. The Republicans own the House, the Senate, the executive, as well as appoint the judges. And that we can't expect these people to do right. And there's a much better quote that I'm using now. Audre Lorde, if you don't know her, she was a queer lesbian poet who was born in the 30s. And Audre said, we can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools. The master will give you some paint and, a bucket of soap, but the master ain't gonna let you take apart his house. And so what we've got to do is to be able to play a really good game inside, because the inside people that are working through the party, they are our people looking for leadership from somebody that is constrained to give it to them. They can't give them the gift. So stay tuned, tune into the Majestic School, go to South Carolina Progressive Network, and we'll see you this week. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks so much. Up next, we have Matt from the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands.
Thank you, everybody. I did not actually plan to speak today, so this is going to be a little bit improvised, but thank you all so very much for coming today. We got to begin with a couple quotes. One. Oh, okay. Can y'all hear me better now? Okay. Hello, I'm Matt. All right. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into friend. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I believe all three of these quotes are from Martin Luther King Jr., but I wrote them down on my phone about 8 years ago, so I'm not sure. The message that I want to share with you today is a lot of the people who are going to be part of this solution, a lot of the people who are going to help us defend our democracy are not here today, and they currently don't even know they want to do it. There are people out there who voted for Donald Trump simply because they thought he was a guy who had funny dances and wanted to cut their taxes. I know it sounds ridiculous, but what I'm hoping to express to everybody is that no two people have ever had the chance to be the same person. We are all formed by experiences and events that we didn't choose. I know there are people out there who have hurt us deeply, but we need to keep talking to them. We need to show them love. We need to listen to them first, and hopefully they will listen to us in response. Because make no mistake, democracy is under attack. We have been an oligarchy my entire life. I was born in '93. I have seen how the richest people in this country have paid our government to take economic leverage away from workers, consumers, and smaller businesses and take it for themselves. But now we're at a point where there are people in power that are interested in stealing constitutionally assigned powers of Congress and giving them to the executive. And there are people threatening to ignore the judiciary. If they do that, there's no more separation of powers. If they do that, there's no more rule of law. If they do that, we will cease to be Americans. So please do not give up on your friends and family who you may think have given up on you. The second thing that I want to say here today is that this is awesome. Seeing you all here together is fantastic. Like a lot of you, I recently became politically engaged after the election because I didn't know what to do with myself and I wanted to find a way forward. So I'm hoping that all of us here today do not come together to simply let this energy dissipate. That we find ways to move it forward in a productive manner, to make the country that we want to make, and to save our democracy. I have recently joined a group called the Young Democrats of the Central Midlands. I'm going to give a shout out to that. I also encourage everyone to get involved with your local parties. I've done some work with the Richland County Democratic Party. I want to give them a shout out too. And I want to ask the question about what all can we do next. There's a lot of organizations here that are starting up. There's a lot of organizations here that want your attention and want your help. Please give them the time of day. And also don't forget, we cannot teleport to Washington, D.C., but you can physically enter this building. Tuesday to Thursday, you can talk to the representatives here. Because stopping the authoritarian takeover of this country at the national level is going to happen locally. We need the states to say we are not playing along. We do not need Doge. We don't need the richest man on the planet to have access to our data. We don't need oversight from the president's top political donor. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. I love all of you. Don't lose the energy. Don't lose the goal. Thank you very much for being here today.